take out of you all to have to play this quick?
I think we'll be fine by tomorrow. There's no excuses. I mean, we'll play good tomorrow, I think. And I look at the other teams across the league. They played last night, got on a bus, traveled back. Ole Miss got to travel up here. It's all the same. We got some downtime this afternoon and tomorrow. It's the way this, Division I baseball is. We squeeze in 56 scheduled games in about a 13-week period, and it's just what you do. That's why most teams have the lingo, it's a grind. You just got to grind through it.
How do you feel about your starting pitching after last weekend?
Well, after what you saw last weekend, obviously concerned. So hopefully they'll make some adjustments and feel a little more comfortable pitching at home and kind of, turn that around a little bit. We definitely need them to.
Murphy, your third starter this weekend?
What we'll do, there's a possibility. But if we need him to win a ball game, then we'll do what we need to do. So if he's available or if he's just throwing a hitter or two and we can start him, we'll start him. But we'll definitely leave Game 3 open.
What's Taccolini's status?
Supposedly getting better, real close. Might have been able to throw an inning last night, but we told him not to put his spikes on, basically. You're not pitching. And should be ready for this weekend is what I've been told.
How big is that to get him back in the mix?
Well, it could be real big, especially if he's good. Now he hadn't pitched in 10 days, so it's nice to have that experience and that stuff. If he's throwing well, he can definitely help us.
What do you know about Ole Miss?
Really can pitch. They've got the best overall team ERA in the SEC by a pretty good amount. They do have some young players in their lineup. They have one freshman pitcher that's pitching extremely well. I think he only gave up 1 or 2 hits in 6 or 7 innings last weekend in Game 2. They'll throw a righty and 2 lefties at us in that order. They've got 4 or 5 of their starters back in the field, and then the rest are freshmen. And they're a good club. They played an extremely tough schedule. Ole Miss, they're good.
Any contingency plans with the rain on doubleheaders?
Everything's on schedule for tomorrow at 6 o'clock. I've been asked if we're playing 2 tomorrow. No, we're not going to play 2. We'll play 1 at 6. And then as far as Friday, that's still being talked about right now, but everything's still as is. We know that, this is a big weekend with the football game on Saturday and a lot of people coming to town. But we just have to look at the forecast in the morning one more time and then figure out what we're going to do Friday, Saturday.
Play 2 on Saturday, would it have to be 2 7-inning games, or could you play
2 Saturday? I don't know if we're going to play 1 on Saturday. So we'll – yeah, but to answer your question, if we get to the last day, you have to play 7s.
Blaine said he thought last week was kind of an aberration, that Auburn was hitting well, it feels good physically. What are you looking for out of Blaine this weekend?
Just to bounce back and command the baseball a little bit better and, do what he's capable of doing, and that's throw a lot of strikes down in the zone and, make them earn it. Last week he was behind in the count, left a lot of pitches up. Again, they're human. They're not going to have good days, and I'm sure he'll bounce back.
Murphy's last couple of outings, he's been really solid. What's been the difference for him lately?
He's throwing that fastball wherever he wants it and working ahead in the count, but throwing the fastball in and out, mixing it up a lot. That's probably the main thing, just pitching ahead.
Last night, the last 3 innings had the potential game-winning run in second and third, I think, every inning. What do you think about how your team was able to grit out that game last night?
Did a really nice job. They had a chance to take the lead, like you said, those last 3 innings, and you just kept finding a way to make a pitch, and got a big pop-up after a sacrifice bunt to advance a couple runners, and then, I think we had a deep fly ball or whatever after that, and we caught it. That was a nice play. And, that's the way the game works. You got to believe that you're going to get through it. And I think that we knew that we had last shot, and the players seemed to be pretty relaxed out there. I don't know if we made an error last night, which is good to play solid defense. I think both teams walked around 5 or 6, which is too many. I think they threw 8 or 9 pitchers, and so did we. Kind of knew that was what was going to happen. But it's just, when you spend that much time and energy going all the way up there playing and coming back, it's really nice to get a win.
As far as your pitching staff, I mean, you obviously had to tax the bullpen quite a bit on the weekend. You threw 9 guys last night. I mean, kind of what do you think the state of the pitching staff is right now?
Well, I think that by tomorrow they'll all be rested and ready to go. I think they're definitely motivated to go out and have good outings. And, you know, for the most part last weekend they did a pretty good job because they were in the game early and they were all on call. So, you know, the state of the pitching staff, I think probably be able to answer that more after this weekend and see if we can bounce back.
You've had a lot of 1-2 run wins this year. I wonder what you think the key to that has been.
Well, I think the key to winning those close games is that we don't make a lot of mistakes. You know, I mean, team fielding percentage has been pretty good all year. You know, not necessarily making that spectacular player, that game saver, but just throughout the 9-inning ball game, just making the routine play for the most part and not giving teams an extra run here and there. And those 2-inning wins turn into extra inning games and some losses and big innings for other teams. That's what we've stayed away from, and that's why we've probably won as many as we have.
With Trevor, how do you think he's pitching?
You know, Trevor actually threw the ball pretty good last weekend against Auburn. I mean, he wasn't walking people. They just fouled off a bunch of pitches, you know, and they got his pitch count up. I mean, he's in the second inning, and his pitch count hit 50, and he just couldn't finish people off. And, you know, I give credit to Auburn's hitters. They just battled, and they had a great weekend. You know, it's funny how the game works, and then they go out Tuesday and only score 2 runs against Troy at home. So, you know, baseball can be a little fickle sometimes. You just have to keep playing and grinding it out like we always say, and it can flip on you. But I think Trevor will bounce back and pitch well.
For Knight and Stephen, how hard is it to get that performance out of their mind?
Well, I think for them it's more about getting on the mound again and getting that opportunity to get that, you know, the last outing or last 2 outings, you know, behind him and go out and throw well and instead of just waiting around to get the ball again. So I think, you know, this weekend if they throw well, they'll be in good shape.